Hi everybody, AstroTibs here. If you're watching this video, then I suspect that you have used or love or are familiar with the Treecapitator mod. So this was a mod that was originally created by DaftPVF and was later adopted by Briefcase Speakers or B Speakers, and the two of them did a great job working on this mod. Now B Speakers has only ported this forward to as far as I think 1.8, and of course Minecraft's up to 1.12 as of this video, and so a lot of people have been asking what happened to this mod, and I really love this mod a lot, hold it near and dear to me, so I wanted to try porting it myself. So B Speakers, being the demigod that he is, has his code available on GitHub, so I just downloaded that and mucked about with it and tried to port it forward. So anyway, this is going to very, very briefly show you some of the features. So the point of this mod is to be able to fell an entire tree in one block breaking, just like that. So I'm in creative mode right now, and by default, the way that this mod is set up, also I'll remind you that starting at version 1.9 and going forward, things went bananas and we were allowed to have two hands in play, but of course my active hand is the one that's operating right now. If by default I am not using an axe weapon in my active hand, then the game functions as ordinary Minecraft. But when we, actually I'll just use two axes, when we use an axe on a tree, it should down the whole tree, or most of the tree. So let me switch on over to survival mode. Okay, so the way that this mod is supposed to work is that if you were to break a block using an axe item, then again the whole tree comes down. This is configurable. You can set it so that this will always happen irrespective of what you have in your hand. That's the way I prefer to play, honestly. But let's do an even bigger tree to see this thing in action. Okay, so this is a fairly well-sized tree. So if I were to pop out this block, the whole tree comes down. You'll see that not only did all that damage get counted towards my axe, which is configurable, so you can set it to do less or even more damage. You can set it to do increasing damage such that each successive block break does an increasing amount of damage than you would ordinarily do. In addition to all that, you'll notice that I didn't down the entire tree. This is again configurable. You can make it so that no matter how much damage and durability is left on your weapon, you can actually down the entire tree. Of course, that would be at the cost of your entire weapon, your entire axe, if there wasn't enough durability left. So the reason that I didn't do the exact base, let's pop up another one. So the reason that I did not do the base is to show that the way that the mod functions is only to do every log and leaf that's upwards, that's at that level and above. But this is again configurable. You can set it so that if I were to knock out this block at my eye level, it would actually take out the whole tree downward as well as upward. So as far as I can tell, all of the functionality has been restored for Treecapitator, with the exception of enchantments. So I'm a very sloppy coder. Simply what I did was I downloaded the mod and its dependency, the B Speakers core mod, and just slapped them all into one project folder and exported the whole thing as a single jar. So, you know, that's not the ideal way to code, but I am under the suspicion that B Speakers core won't be ported forward at all, so you won't need it for any other of his mods. So, since enchantments have changed significantly, I wasn't able to kind of square the Treecapitator enchantment. So those of you who are familiar with the Treecapitator enchantment, that's an enchantment that allows you to use this particular ability on an axe and have it off by default unless you use that enchantment. It does not function, so that's been taken out of the config files. If you're using an old config file, the config file should still be compatible, except that you won't be able to do anything with the enchantment settings, so that's just off by default. In addition, the B Speakers core config file that gets generated will actually have the update checker turned off. So these are a few things that I needed to do because I had no way how to code these, and I've seen people on GitHub try to port this mod forward and do it unsuccessfully because of one thing or another. So I figured the better solution for this time, until somebody wants to actually take this mod on and do it properly, is to make it work as well as I want it to work, without worrying too much about the features that I didn't kind of care about in the past. So that's everything. Let's just do one more because it makes me feel good, and I've been working on this thing all weekend. So this should be available up to 1.12. Let's down this mother. And that is extremely satisfying. Okay. Just for closure's sake. I will leave a link to this mod's download files up to version 1.12 in the description. Thanks a bunch, bye!